Hello class, this is Dr. Mike, and I just want to give you a few minutes of Linux. I'll do this each week, give you a short session with some info on the week's topics. So let's start off. What you're looking at is, of course, the shell. And you'll see this week we talk about the shell. This is the command line shell, so it is a CLI command line interface. So first off, we're going to talk about how to do commands properly. There's some really simple ways to get things wrong, and a lot of times the two things are case sensitivity, so uppercase, lowercase, and of course spacing between commands and options. So I will give you an example, and I'll actually give you the first command. So first off, let's talk about, we're sitting here at the terminal, and we can see our command line prompt there blinking away. So we want to know where we are in the system. So our first command I want to show you is called print working directory. PWD will tell me where I'm at in my folder and file system here. So you can see I'm in the home folder, I'm in the sysadmin subfolder there, which is my home directory. So that is where we are. Next, let's see, who am I? It sounds funny, you would assume you would know who you are, but it's always good to check what user you are before you execute any sort of editing to be sure you have proper permissions. And so who am I, which is funny, that is actually the command, who am I, all one word, all lowercase, you noticed. I'm user sysadmin. Let's talk about the last command here I'll show you today. It's, well, what's here? And what's here we can do is do ls. ls is a listing of files and directories. So again, print working directory, PWD, where am I at? Who am I? Who am I? My user ID. And ls, what's here? And let's expand upon ls for a second to talk about command syntax. So far, these three commands have been just single commands, very simple. But commands have a certain structure. There's the command, ls. Very important here, of course, you know, I'm not using uppercase ls. If I did that, you won't find it. If I do ls like this, also doesn't find it. Here's also a great command too, by the way. I use this a lot to clear my screen off. You can use it too if you like. So again, print working directory. I'm in home sysadmin. I'm sysadmin user with who am I, and ls. It's got my files and folders in my directory. So let's talk about ls again. Commands themselves, again, all lowercase. And then very important is we have the command, we have options. Most options start with, again, ls space dash. That space is very important. Make sure you keep that space inside there. And on options, there are several of them, and we're going to talk about that here in a second with the getting help on commands. And for now, though, just take ls-l. If I do that again, you notice my output has changed. I get my long listing format. I get the directory tag, I get the permissions, ownership, file size, date and time, and then name. And again, we're going to come back to this syntax later. For now, though, understand that it's the command ls. I must have a space there. And then -l is my first parameter. And also we can pass in arguments. An argument is sort of like an example. In this case, I want to look in the test directory or in temp. Empty right now. And something closer to home. We have a test directory here. ls space -l space test. Those are the files in the test directory. So again, very important thing here is you see the ls. Again, everything's lowercase. There's a space, -l. And there can be several other parameters I can put inside there too, but for now I'm using one parameter. And then space and argument, which is a directory or file name, in this case, the test directory. And that test directory is here in our directory structure, in our home folder here, or after videos. Then one more command I'll show you is change directory. How do I get out of here? So you're thinking, well, okay, again, I'm in home sysadmin. How do I get to that test directory? CD is our change directory. If I CD to test, you can now see I am in home sysadmin test. And if I do an ls here, you see those same files. ls-l, again, space dash lowercase l there. I get the long list. And we're in home sysadmin test. I'll give you a couple things about CD, pretty handy. If I CD and just leave it empty, I go back to my home directory. It's a handy thing that's not in the textbook, so I'll give you a couple of tips here. So let's say I am in some kind of, let's see, I'm way down in here and I don't know where I'm at. So I'm in some weird directory structure here. I know what it is, but for the sake of this, let's simple to say we're down here and we want to go back to our home directory. Do I need to do cd/home/sysadmin? No, I don't have to do that, of course. That's too much work. We're Linux users. We're lazy. I mean proficient. So that means understanding some of our shortcuts, which is if I just do cd, get back home. Do cd dash, I go back to the previous directory I was just in. You can see I am in this etc systemd directory here. cd dash, I go back to the previous one again. Nice way to bounce back and forth. Let's say if I'm back, I'm going to temp and back. Here, of course, but I'm in temp. cd to dash, I go back to the previous directory. cd to dash, and I'm back in temp. Nice little shortcut too. So cd dash takes you to the previous directory. cd without any kind of parameter takes you back home. And the last thing we'll go over here real quick is, of course, help with commands. Probably the best thing to do is the man page. So man page will give you, let's adjust my screen here for a second, sort of a manual, an online manual. So man ls. I get here example, the name ls, what it is, the synopsis, the ls with the options, any file directories. And then in the description are the arguments there. And the way to navigate this is with the arrow keys. I can do up and down line at a time with my up and down arrow. I can do a space bar, do a page at a time. Here, for example, you can see there is right there -L, which we use for long list format. As you see, there are several options we can use. When I'm done, I hit Q to quit, and I'm back to the command line. One thing I can do too is I can use the /. And on the screen here, you can see the / has opened up a little terminal editor here. I can type in what I'm looking for. Let's say I want to sort by time. And you can see it jumped up and it says, well, here is the first string that matched that. In this case, the -C command. I hit the end key, like November end, and then go to the next finding. Here we go. We can see I'm looking for sort by modification time right here. So I found my answer. I hit quit. So now if I ls-lt for that test directory, sort by time, which again, in this example, everything is the same date, so there's really nothing here. There's no change in our output, but you'll see that will come in handy a lot later with other Linux system usage. I'm going to wrap it up here for today. Also, there is a --help. Again, there's a space here. So again, the command. There's a space after the command. And in this case, there's 2 dashes. And you notice before we're using a single dash. It's not too uncommon to see full words have 2 dashes, where a single parameter, single letter will have a single dash. And this will give you a really quick sort of cheat sheet output. If we try doing a command that doesn't have it, let's see. In case it doesn't have it, but you still get some usage. So there's no dash dash help output. You can see I got an invalid option, but actually I do get a little usage line. It's not uncommon for these shell commands to say, well, you know what, you did something wrong. Here's typically what you do with the CD. And to be honest, to investigate those options, I have to go to the man page. So that was a few minutes of Linux. Hopefully that was very helpful, and I will try to publish one little video each week with some extra tidbits that might not be in the text. Hope it's going well, and I will talk to you later.